Hello and welcome everyone. Today I'm going to show you the new focke-wulf event vehicle. In order to get it, you must have done yesterday's event tasks and today's event tasks, which require you to get 30 knife kills. People might have different strategies for that. I tried my best to get them with the Soviets in the Battle of Moscow campaign, where I got the most axe melee weapons dropped. An axe is better than a knife because it one-shots every enemy, even without the perk of 100% increased melee damage, which would also help with this challenge. After achieving the 30 knife kills, I finally unlocked a new airplane, and I couldn't find it right away because the description calls it a light recon aircraft. So naturally, you would find it among the fighter squads, right? Well, I was wrong. The focke-wulf can be selected for one of the two German attacker plane squads, which is already one of its downsides. But let's move on. First, we can see the view from the inside of the plane, which confused me a lot to the point where I tried to find a solution in the settings, but that's just how this plane comes apparently. I think the problem is that the bottom part of the pilot's cabin is all glass, so you can see through, and the indicators for speed and height are at the top part. The description advertised this plane to have a wide view angle, but I constantly struggle to find enemy planes in this thing. Next up, the armament. We have two pairs of 50 kg bombs, so our bombing power is equal to the other fighter planes of Germany in the Moscow campaign. Two 7.92mm machine guns, just like the German biplane, and the Stukas. Not really powerful enough to kill infantry, and it requires a long time to destroy an enemy plane. The flight performance is really nice. We're almost as agile as a biplane, but have a higher speed. When flying the EL-2, I really struggled to catch up, despite the incredible agility that the Russian plane offers. So that's a plus. I will now show you some gameplay so you can get an impression of what this plane feels like when playing, and then give you my conclusion to this plane.
Attack the next position.
The 50kg bombs do really well against infantry. That doesn't surprise anybody who tried the German fighter planes or the first Stuka in the Moscow or Berlin campaign. It also drops 2 pairs of 50kg bombs before the big 250kg bomb. The MGs can do its part when attacking an enemy plane, but due to its really awkward front window, this plane just feels terrible to use for fighting enemy planes. The wide open window on the bottom still confuses me when I try to predict what my MGs are firing, since there are no aiming sights or indicators. The flight performance is fairly decent. Both speed and agility help you to gain the advantage over some enemy planes, but not all of them. The best part of this plane is that the open window on the bottom can help identifying targets, which should make learning to drop bombs at the right time easier, especially for players who have little to no experience in using bomber planes in game or who are just new to enlisted. Overall, the plane is not very good, and the biggest disadvantage that this plane has is it is classified as an attacker plane. Despite having the armament and flight performance of a fighter plane, the problem with this is whenever you fly this plane, you could be using a Stuka or the Bf-110 attacker planes that can deal a lot more damage to the enemy than the FW-189. Now you could think that this doesn't matter all that much, you simply could come as a fighter plane and it would have the same effect. But that's why you'd be wrong. Let me explain you something. When somebody uses the Bf-110 plane, for example, it doesn't block just this plane, but the first attacker plane squad for all of your team. The same goes with the second attacker plane squad. There can only be one 500kg bomb Stuka on the battlefield at once. So you deciding to play the FW-189 will take the possibility from your team to send in one Stuka or the Bf-110, which have a much higher bombing potential, while you're coming in as an extra fighter plane. So if you take all of that into consideration, the FW-189A1 is a straight up nerf to the Axis faction in the Moscow campaign. It should obviously be classified as a fighter plane, or playing it equals putting your team at a disadvantage. I want to play the plane, I worked for it. It's a fun aircraft, but knowing this, I probably won't play it again, and I cannot recommend playing it to anybody unless they make it available for the fighter plane squads. What is your impression of the FW-189? Did you have fun playing it, or do really well against enemy planes and infantry? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you everybody for watching, and see you in the next one.